To the world, Charles Kuralt was the warm, trusted voice of America, the beloved CBS journalist who crisscrossed the country, telling stories of ordinary people with extraordinary charm. But behind that calm smile and kind eyes, Kuralt was living a secret that shocked everyone after his death. For decades, he hid a double life to women, to families, to homes, all kept in perfect balance by a man who built his career on truth. How did he manage to deceive everyone, even those closest to him? And how did the truth finally come out? Charles Kuralt was the kind of journalist America fell in love with. Born in 1934 in Wilmington, North Carolina, he grew up fascinated by stories not of the powerful or the famous, but of everyday people. His career began humbly, writing and reporting for CBS News. But his unique voice and human touch quickly set him apart. When he launched on the road with Charles Kuralt in 1967, viewers were instantly hooked. Each week, he traveled across the country in his iconic motorhome, sharing heartfelt stories of small towns, simple lives, and unsung heroes. For millions, Kuralt became the face of wholesome America, a man who embodied honesty, warmth, and curiosity. But behind the camera, his life was far more complicated than the image he projected. At home, Charles was a family man. He had married Suzanne Petty Baird in 1952, and together they built a life rooted in mutual respect and shared dreams. To the outside world, they seemed like the perfect couple. Yet, as Kuralt's career took off, his time at home became scarce. He was constantly traveling, often gone for weeks, sometimes months. What his wife didn't know was that his long absences weren't always for work. Somewhere along the way, Charles Kuralt began living another life entirely. In the 1960s, while covering a story in Montana, Kuralt met a schoolteacher named Patricia Shannon. What started as a friendship soon grew into something deeper. For the next 3 decades, Kuralt maintained a secret relationship with Patricia, a parallel life hidden from his wife, his colleagues, and the world. He bought her a secluded cabin in Montana, spent holidays with her, and even supported her financially, while he lived publicly as a devoted husband and national journalist. Privately, he was building a second home filled with love, laughter, and deception. What made this double life so astonishing was how carefully he managed it. Kuralt was a master of compartmentalization, dividing his world so precisely that no one suspected a thing. He used his frequent travel schedule as the perfect cover, explaining his long absences as part of his reporting duties. Friends later recalled that he was always vague about his personal plans, keeping his two worlds perfectly separate. For decades, he pulled off one of the most secretive personal balancing acts in media history. It wasn't until after his death in 1997 that the truth finally came to light. Kuralt died suddenly from complications of lupus, and his family gathered to settle his estate. That's when Patricia Shannon stepped forward with letters, photos, and documents proving their long-term relationship. She even produced a handwritten note from Kuralt, written shortly before his death, suggesting he wanted her to inherit the Montana property. The revelation stunned the nation. The man who had represented integrity on television had lived a lie off camera. The legal battle that followed was both heartbreaking and scandalous. Kuralt's wife and daughters were blindsided, while Patricia fought to prove that her relationship with him had been real and lasting. Eventually, the court ruled in Patricia's favor, granting her ownership of the Montana land. But the damage to Kuralt's legacy was undeniable. Fans who had idolized him struggled to reconcile the kind storyteller. They knew what the secretive man revealed after his death. Even now, decades later, Charles Kuralt's story serves as a haunting reminder that appearances can be deceiving. The same man who made America believe in honesty and simplicity was living a life built on quiet deception. Yet, in a strange way, his double life mirrors the very stories he loved to tell: complex, human, and filled with contradictions. In the end, Charles Kuralt's greatest story wasn't one he reported, it was the one he lived. A man who taught us about America's heartland while hiding a secret of his own. His charm, his compassion, and his deceit all existed within the same man. And as shocking as his truth was, it only proved that even our heroes are human, flawed, fragile. and capable of leading lives far more complicated than they ever let the world see.